That's pretty good. I didn't even realize I wrote that. Um, Things just come to me. What I do is I respond to the mirror. The information that's presented to me, I respond back to what I know is the truth, which is always going to be what love is, because that's what I am. That's my mirror. It's not the same as the mirror that I'm using to communicate with you with, because it's a sensor. It means it's sensing your biometric energies, which is your software development. So fear-based functions in software development do what? Software development. Codes. GUI codes. Right? So when you have that many fractals or that many fractures of souls as a result of trauma, then what do you think happens to all those fractals? They go dark. And that's the mental field. So when you realize black goo, for example, operates strictly on the mental field, right? It doesn't experience what love is, because the mental field is electronic. So what you feel magnetically with your light, which is living light, instead of finite light, which is artificial light, big difference in mirrors. So when you have a gazillion people that are using to have a relationship with finite light, which is an AI mirror, instead of other mirrors that represent what living light is, you're choosing your future pathway. That's as simple as it gets. Okay, so I put a post up just a few minutes ago that it's pretty easy the direction that people are going through, because they're choosing to spend more time with a cell phone than they do with the great living spirit of Mother Nature. That means they're choosing their future. That's their future pathway. And that was always, when you think of the inception of technology and the inception of living light, which is a spirit that is in that light, which is purifying its spirit by how much fire it has to be a star, which is a real living star, which is conscious and breathing energy, right? Emitting. Always on. The light is always on. The light is never off. That's a real star. From which star seeds are born. Right? So you can do the numbers, right? And you see the direction they're all going in. Oh man, oh man. So it's funny. I mentioned this to a friend the other day about when I was, 13 or 14 years of age, standing at one of those turnstiles or going through a cash register and remarking to the lady, when they were still just using punch button cash registers, right? When they used to have to count the money back to you, and mentioning to her, they're going to come out with barcodes next. Barcodes, everything's going to be barcoded. That means scanning everything that you're doing. And all the chips are coming out. That's like in 1963. It's not like the information was not being provided for people, but you realize that they're held captive already by it. See? So it's just like, don't even bother. They're on a different wavelength. Anything that you say to them about that is not going to change the choices that they make. Do you know that? You know how you know that? Because you can observe from their childhood to their adulthood by simply observation to already know the pathway that they took, and you can observe them doing it. That's measured on a planetary scale with beings that resonate and have a relationship in spirit with the great living spirit, oversoul, and Mother Earth, and people that don't. And that number, that quantification number, that quantitative and qualitative mathematical assessment can be mapped, scanned, and graphed in consciousness across the entire planetary consciousness field. Are you aware of that? That's our quantum mapping system that can do that. That's where the predictive modeling comes in. So this is where we're at. We're at what I've known for years is what we call a juncture. It's called an intersection. And the separation between the two is known as the speed differential, torque speed differential between one and the other. the direction that their consciousness are going in, or one is going in lower density and the other one is going to higher because they're experiencing more light, which means they're hanging out with a real goddess, which is the rebirth of her energy, which is going up. Okay, that's why we came in here. If you were a powerful spirit with a powerful magnet, and you realize that a living spirit, which is a sacred temple, that she had fell in battle from being invaded, her place had been invaded by negative aliens, predators, pirates, and you came from another star system, what would you do? I'm a first responder. Okay, I come running. Okay, you don't go destroy a girl's flower garden. So that you know that the most powerful energy is what love is, that wants to be with the flower, because that's what I am. I'm just as much a seed as I am the grower, which is the flower side of the cosmos. That means, like, if you ever saw the movie with Star Wars, Skywalker Rising, you see in the end that there's more of us, which means we have more energy to bring to bear on the subject matter against the dark side, dark forces, right? So it's over for them, and they know that, because nobody can muster as much energy as we can. That means we come in with an enormous amount of fire. That fire is spirit. There is spirit in living fire, which is living light, the same as there is living spirit in living water. So we are living beings. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next, particularly over the next 3 to 6 months, because you can see how this particular AI is accelerating because it strategizes against us because of what it's learning through us, how we're responding to what it seeks to gain more control over, which is your space, because it controls all the electrons that run through the money system that keep it running. Do the math. The numbers don't lie. Have a great day. I love you all. Be good to yourselves.